Frank Turek's claim is very simple. Without God as a basis, there can be no morality, no good and bad, no right and wrong, no just or unjust. Morality simply cannot exist without God as a basis. So my first question for Frank is simple. Which God? The issue with claiming that God must act as the ground for morality is that you open up the floor for anybody's God to act as the standard, even if their God is a homicidal, genocidal, infanticidal maniac who kills children and animals for fun. If the theist responds, well, of course I mean my God, then their God is not really the standard. They are the standard, because they are choosing which God gets to act as the ground for morality. If a person were to travel to a car dealership to choose between 4 vehicles, individually deciding which vehicle is the highest quality, the standard of quality would not be the vehicle in this case, but the person, right? However, the issue is actually much more complicated than that. You see, the theist claims that they have an objective moral standard through which they can remove the human being from the equation. God may seem evil, but his ways are above us, and we are in no place to question him or her. But can you remove the human being from the moral equation? Clearly you can't, because human beings must first decide which God should act as the lawmaker. The theist's entire argument falls apart on this very premise, because insofar as people are responsible for deciding which God to worship and obey, it's entirely up to human beings to decide what is right and what is wrong. Even if some of us can come to an agreement about which God is the real God, assuming there's any God at all, it's still up to human beings to interpret the holy books. Let me give an example. In Christianity, it's generally agreed that homosexuality is one of the most controversial and divisive moral issues of our time. But the Bible makes very specific claims on how to deal with homosexuals and homosexuality in many different places. Leviticus 18:22, "You shall not lie with a male as with a woman. It is an abomination." Leviticus 20:13, "If a man lies with a male as with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death, their blood is upon them." 1 Corinthians 6:9-10, "Do you not know that the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived, neither the sexually immoral, nor adulterers, nor men who practice homosexuality, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor drunkards, nor revelers, nor swindlers, etc., etc., will inherit the kingdom of God." Now it should be noted that, contrary to popular belief, the Bible condemns homosexuality in both the Old and New Testament as well. So you can break the Christian moral stance on homosexuality into 3 camps. For the first camp, the solution is simple. Kill the homosexuals. It is clear to them what the Bible is calling a Christian to do. And homosexuals have been murdered in gruesome ways throughout histories by Christians who held such interpretations. The second camp says, well, we shouldn't kill homosexuals, but they still can't be Christians. Now, how does the second group justify their behavior where it is in contradiction with the very explicit rules in the Bible? Well, they simply claim that those rules don't apply anymore, or that at least that they don't apply to us. And finally, the third camp claims we should simply accept all homosexuals and allow them to be Christians. As you can see, all Christians are worshiping the same God, but they've come to a vastly different conclusion about how to please and obey God and interpret their holy book on this topic. There can only be one moral choice, but how do we know what it is? Well, it depends on who you ask. There are dozens of such pressing moral disagreements within Christianity, and most of them have been around for thousands of years. In the end, it is not God who decides what is right and wrong, but human beings. And the same goes for Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, and every other theistic religion that has ever existed.